3650 squad, we square jobs, make a check gains. The secret sauce, 3650 squad, we square jobs, make a check gains. The secret sauce, get out your ledger and pull the contract. Stake for 10 years, that's how we stack. See my post chain, see my Cadillac, this is the job. We don't know where it's at. 3650, 3650. 3650, 3650 squad, we square jobs, make a check gains. The secret sauce, 3650 squad, we square jobs, make a check gains. The secret sauce, 3650 squad, we square jobs, make a check gains. The secret sauce, 3650 squad, we square jobs, make a check gains. The secret sauce.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to EMP.Money. My name is AJ, I am the team lead here, and this is our live AMA. We come to you every Monday and Thursday at 6:45 p.m. Eastern with all the latest updates, not only about EMP, but about our entire ecosystem. Lots to go over today. Again, a new week. Happy Monday to everybody. Market's looking a little uncertain. We have a lot of potential alpha to share, some other updates, and the overall theme today is also going to involve protecting your crypto as well. So, all right, before we get into all that, I want to introduce my co-host with the most and fellow team member, LA. LA, how are you?
I am good. How's everyone doing today?
Awesome. LA and I have been up since about 4 a.m. her time, 7 a.m. my time, but it's been insane. Very busy day, lots of meetings, lots of development happening, and so hopefully we can share a lot of that later this week and a little bit in the AMA today. But we have a lot to go over, so I'm going to try to get right into it. Before we get right into it, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Again, the more volume and more participation on our YouTube, the more it supports all of you. We use all of our ad revenue to support EMP. And as we move into the next bull run where interest returns to crypto, we hope to have one of the larger, crypto-focused YouTube channels, and that will help again get more eyeballs on the project. All of our projects as well. So, like, comment, and subscribe. Again, too, if you have a question. Oh, go ahead, Ellie.
Oh, no, you're on a roll.
Oh, all right, awesome. Sorry, I thought I thought you were jumping in. My bad. One last thing. If you have a question, as we go through this, again, please, feel free to comment in the live chat. If you're listening to the recording, please, either type it in the previous AMA comment area, or you can join our Discord, and we have a dedicated channel for AMA questions. That is also the best way. So, all right, after all the housekeeping, yes, go ahead.
Hey, I would love to start off today's call in a slightly different way, if you'll roll with me here.
All right, I love it. Go for it, LA. The floor is yours.
I want to get everyone who's listening to do one thing for me at the exact same moment. So it looks like we've got about 40 people on at the same time here. So everyone at the same moment, I just want you to smile.
I love it. I'm smiling ear to ear.
Perfect, because today's going to be full of really great vibes, and I just wanted to start off the vibes from the very first second. So there we go.
Awesome, LA. Yes, thank you. I know both of us have had quite a day, and even in the different communities, going back and forth, talking about fusion and when this and when that. So yeah, smiling definitely makes it better, and that gets the good vibes flowing for a very productive AMA. So right on. Thank you, LA. I can always count on you for our resident hype girl in a good way, getting us excited. So all right, awesome. All right. On that note, we're gonna jump right in to security again. A large topic of today is protecting your crypto. We talked about this a lot in the previous AMA, but we're still continuing to see scammers. So I'm going to go through some bullet points here. But LA, I know you were the one that really were, discovering the scammers coming out of the woodwork. Do you want to preface this with anything before I go into some specifics?
Yeah, I got a message today with a heads up. So I'm very thankful for that. But there's a fake website and a bunch of fake social media accounts for L1X. And we want to just be extra vigilant, extra careful that we're not clicking on the wrong links. Make sure, you have all the correct links bookmarked so that can't happen. I did make a post in our group today, and I put all of our official links on there, just to let you know if I do find like shady stuff. I'm never gonna post the bad links because I would never want to take a chance of someone clicking on it by accident. So I'm always gonna go the route of posting our official links so that you can save them, bookmark them, pin them, do whatever you got to do. But go ahead, take a look at the EMP or L1DEX groups. I believe that the L1X group also has a report section, and they have it in there as well. And just if you come across these websites or social media accounts, please report them, please block them. But at the very least, please do what you have to protect yourself. Don't click on any links that you don't recognize. Do not connect your wallet to anything that is not from an official channel. This basically, the social media accounts say, your L1X coins are ready to claim. Everyone claim now. And they give you a completely false website. So just don't fall for it. There are no websites that are not the official ones. And you guys already have all of those. So don't click on them. They're all pinned. So
Perfect.
yeah.
All right. Yep. No doubt. And again, I mean, we saw it a lot on EMP last week. That was again a large portion of our discussion, and now we're seeing it for L1X and L1DEX. So again, when in doubt, join the community. Again, make sure it's public. Nobody will ever ask you for funds. Like I said, nobody will ever ask you to connect. You can actually see in Telegram specifically, and Discord as well. But you can see that people have different tags or that represent them as team members or admins, and make sure that you're always interacting with those, even if they have the same name. Like actual username, it may not mean that they are admins, but you can tell in the upper right hand side on Telegram, it's in kind of a gray text. It'll say team member or army member or admin. And then again, it's color coded in Discord as well. So just be ultra careful. And again, use Telegram. Like even right now, we're live on Telegram. You can see that it's my profile speaking, and LA's profile speaking when we are on these. So you can just click those profiles and then send LA or I a DM and just say hello, and then it'll always be saved with the history of the actual account. So those are just little tiny things that all of you need to get in the habit of doing, because as we get into a next bull run, and even now, I mean, not only is it about making crypto, but it's about keeping your crypto. So the number one way, again, to lose is getting scammed. So other than a hack or an exploit. All right, I think we covered that. Anything specifically about security, LA, before we move into some L1X and L1DEX updates?
that was kind of it for today, other than stuff we've been going over on the past couple AMAs. Just please take care of yourself, get yourself a hardware wallet. Don't click on any funny links. We will never randomly DM you. Like I saw someone post in the Sparkswap group today that like a Sparkswap official support chat was messaging them. We don't have that. That doesn't exist. We won't DM you. We won't ask you to send us your wallet info. We won't ask you to send us your keys or send us money or click on any links or connect your wallet. Like we won't do any of that. So if you know that ahead of time and you ask for help in the group and you stay within the group, and when people randomly call or text you, you just, block them or adjust your security settings. You'll take good care of yourself and look out for yourself and just be hyper vigilant. You'll do a good job protecting yourself.
Totally. Yep. And as always, too, one last thing we always mention is using a hardware wallet. So even if you do get hacked, because you have to literally approve every transaction, a lot of times hackers, they sell what they can, and then if you have a hardware wallet, you can't approve the transaction for them to sell. So again, that's another surefire way to protect yourself. Even if your wallet does get compromised, it's almost like an insurance policy. So, and we have a link to an affiliate link to a lot of our trusted wallets. Again, I know there's some FUD around Ledger, and the centralization that it may or may not have. But again, I can tell you, it's conspiracy theory or not, it's much better to have a hardware wallet than to not have one. So take that for what it's worth. Use a different company if you're not comfortable. There's a lot of great options out there. So, all right, awesome. Let's move on to L1X and L1DEX. So many of you have already started to receive some wallet access for your coins. So that's exciting. The vast majority of you have not. So again, don't panic. There is no advantage to getting your coins early. Again, we're going to update you all along the process. So just be as patient as possible. We had a long discussion this morning with the L1X team, received a bunch of updates on not only, the token or coin distribution, but also some updates, in terms of moving forward with L1DEX. Things are definitely still on track for October 15th. That will be the launch of their L1X app. And the plan right now, again, is to, have L1DEX be a part of that. We're still in some final, finalization with how it's going to work on the back end. Again, this code is extremely complicated and there's a lot of moving pieces. So we need to have, make sure everything is working, make sure there's liquidity, make sure that everything is, working interoperably. And again, not that isn't happening, but we have to dot all of our I's and cross all of our T's. So we'll have a specific AMA about L1DEX and the L1X app as it gets a little bit closer, and we were able to still finalize a few things, but so far so good. And again, nobody will be missing out. So even though the launch is scheduled for the 15th, a lot of the incentivized staking or liquidity providing, there's going to be some nuance to that. So, but it won't be to where you're missing out by not getting your tokens before all that's live. So just hang in there. Again, we're going to give you the info as soon as we can, and we'll have a whole AMA about that specifically as it gets closer. So, wallet access and coins are being distributed in batches of about 250 at a time. So, if you are checking and you don't have access, it's based on a first come first served time horizon. And so if you haven't received access, check back daily until you have, and then everyone again will have received their tokens or coins rather. I always make that mistake. And L1 is usually referred to as a coin. All projects like EMP are tokens. But anyway, so yeah, that will happen, and everybody will have them by the end of the month. So. There is also going to be, this is some alpha and an update, so make sure you're prepared. There will be a network upgrade happening either Tuesday or Wednesday. So when this happens, the claim process will be disabled for about 24 hours. So when we've received more info on that specifically, we'll post it and pin it. But they are still working on, the chain itself and the app itself. So there will be intermittent downtime for sure. But yeah, we'll give you an update on that. Just if you can't claim or you see, the website is down, again, don't panic. It's all part of the process. So, all right, I think that's a lot of the, updates and some alpha on L1X, L1DEX. LA, anything you want to add to that or clarify?
Those are all the main points. We had another great meeting early this morning, and we're getting closer and closer every few days. Just as AJ said, fine tuning all the back end details, and everything's looking up and as it should be. So we're getting real close.
Yep, 100%. So again, we said October or Uptober or Rugtober. So depending if you're bearish or bullish, October will be a big month for all of us. Again, major headway on Spark, major headway on L1DEX, and major headway in EMP. So just stay tuned, stay engaged, and you will know, as soon as we do. So. All right. Speaking of fusion and EMP, let's move on to that. That is the next topic of today, and some bullet points and discussions to have. Again, if there's anything we go over that you want me to go further into more detail or clarify, please feel free to type that in the live chat. But LA, I know the first thing here was sparred by a DM that you received, which was basically just wanting a little more discussion around APRs, right?
Yeah, we've done this before, but it's been a month or two since we've had this discussion. So I promised we would have another discussion around it, and it's just the question was, we're getting closer to fusion. Are you guys getting any closer to being able to predict what the APRs will be upon launch?
Yeah, no doubt. So we'll start by just really giving an overview of how APR will be calculated in Fusion. Because, as much as we would like to, and even if I had all the answers, we really aren't in a position to actually predict APR. But I can give some, bullish input on my personal opinions, and just based on the math of the protocol. So the APRs will be determined in two ways. The first way is exactly how the APR is calculated right now. Again, in the farm. So the EMP LP farm and the ESHARE locked pool. That those are paid from about, I think it's about 60 ESHARE a day in emissions that go to those pools or those farms. And so in Fusion, that same sort of concept will happen where rather than directing to the farms go away and you essentially are credited for your ownership of the central grid through your microgrid. And it's essentially the same thing as the farm, only it's a single asset staking. So again, the EMP is really all that matters inside of Fusion. Again, there's only so much EMP in existence. Again, once we make this transition, EMP is no longer inflationary. EMP has not been inflationary for months because the boardroom hasn't been on. But that means that, your ownership of the protocol is strictly determined by how much EMP that you have, essentially single state into the protocol, which is done through, our sacrifice phase, and then, applying any EMP to that later on. So, all that being said, we feel like the APR will definitely not be any lower than what it is right now. So, I mean, anywhere from 15 to 20% APR as a bare minimum. And then the APR could be dramatically boosted by our revenue stream. So that is the second way that the APR is calculated. And if we're able to produce, literally thousands, if not tens of thousands of dollars per day in revenue feeding Fusion, that will go directly to all of you as rewards, again, in the form of energy, which is constant buying pressure on eShare. And that is distributed to all of you. So, very similarly to the Sparkler, we've said this before, Fusion is the Sparkler on steroids. So, by staking your EMP, again, into Fusion, you are getting a percentage of the revenue based on your ownership. So that could produce, another 50 to 100% APR easily, depending on how we grow. So APR can be very juicy, and it's sustainable APR, not APR that is given through emissions. So that is a really key distinction. And even like the emissions that that is given from, again, the same allocation that goes to the farms. And now you have to remember that eShare is also on a halvening model, just like Bitcoin. So over the next few months, half as much eShare will be emitted daily, and that is really bullish long term. And then every year after, it halves again. So, even 10 years from now, we're looking at a maximum supply of eShare that is way below 100,000 tokens, which, again, low circulating supply and, high buy pressure, that usually ends up in, price go up. So, again, that's not financial advice. That's not me promising anything in the future. But, the economics are very solid. So, all right. Does that help, LA? I don't know. That was like a high level overview. I have some more notes here, but before I move on, was that anything?
Yes,
Okay.
and I want to add a little bit to it, but
Please.
before I do, I want to say that this is solely my personal opinion. It is not at all a reflection of what is to be or anything that is certain or certain to be. It is simply my opinion. But when we say that Fusion could potentially or is the sparkler on steroids, I want to kind of share with you my thoughts on that. If you take a look at Sparkswap, it's been just such a perfect example of what is possible with Fusion and the consistency that it can bring. But Fusion just has the potential to take it, another 10 levels. But if you take a look at I mean, it's hard to fully understand because of, all of the innovative things that we've built into Fusion that have really never been seen in DeFi before. And we're hoping that as we get closer and closer with the tools and the videos and stuff and the new white paper, that you guys will fully grasp what it is. But Fusion is something that is super powerful in that we've seen how much Sparkler helps to curb the inflation in Sparkswap. And just imagine not only that being the case in Fusion, but then also having multiple outside revenue streams, and then an extremely powerful built-in revenue stream being Fusion itself, also feeding additional rewards. So you have this combination of this extremely powerful, innovative approach that is really curbing the inflation. And then you have all of these revenue streams flowing into it to top up and add to those rewards on a daily, weekly, monthly basis. And we've been working hard behind the scenes to build these additional revenue streams, L1DEX, Sparkswap being one of them, and some that we haven't even revealed yet that literally we've been killing it with for months now, to help build our treasury. And so my personal opinion is that it will be Sparkler on, whatever steroids times freaking jacked up Hulk Hogan, whatever, times a million. But, that's my personal opinion. But regardless, everything I just said is fact. It is going to help EMP to become much more deflationary. We are going to have all of these external revenue streams flowing into Fusion, and it is an extremely powerful, innovative approach that's never been done before. And so all of those things hopefully will give you insight into what's coming, beyond just the daily emissions that are already allocated to our existing farms.
Yeah, no doubt, LA. Great recap, and I agree 100%. Again, that's not the opinion of EMP as a protocol. That's LA and I's personal opinion. But yeah, I mean, again, we say this all the time that math doesn't lie. And again, having people, again, Sparkler's a great example, like LA said. But imagine that with, what we envision is 10 times the revenue streams, and again, a deflationary asset. Part of the fees, after we recover PEG, part of the fees and part of the revenue will go to buying and burning EMP and ESHARE as well. So both of them become actually deflationary over time. So all that is super bullish. And again, we would love to be able to predict, an APR, but we just can't. I mean, again, it could be. We can say that it would not be any lower than what you're seeing currently now in the farms. And so, with EMP recovering, with all the again revenue streams coming in, it could be easily in the hundreds of APR, and who knows? Again, it's solely based on how much revenue is coming in. So the other, yeah, go ahead, Ellie. Yep.
I remember you just jogged
Yeah.
my memory on
Yeah,
something
perfect.
I wanted to say. Sorry. Also, I wanted to add, Sparkswap is going to help with that because prior to Fusion launching, we're adding extra utility to EMP and eShare. And so, again, we don't have a crystal ball. We cannot say for certain this is going to happen. It is a personal opinion, but very likely EMP and eShare and PEG will start to recover. How much? We don't know, but very likely they will start to recover. They will start to rise again because we're adding this extra utility. We're adding this extra ability to start earning more from those two tokens. And that, coupled with the fact that, the ecosystem is already in a recovery phase, it's already on its way up before the sacrifice starts, and it's not the sacrifice itself that's solely in charge of bringing it up. That's powerful. Don't underestimate how powerful that is.
Yeah, no, absolutely, LA. I love it. And one more thing too, I wanted to, comment on before I get into. I'm going to get on my soapbox a little bit at the end of this, but you mentioned revenue streams. So again, we've specifically said and listed those revenue streams. L1DEX, again, part of the swap fees from that will be coming home to EMP. Sparkswap, same deal. Part of the, not only like LA just said, the utility where we're giving extra utility for EMP and eShare on Spark, but then also again part of the fees come home to EMP. But the Fusion itself is a revenue stream. Again, part of the fees and the battery, we're charging a very modest amount, but we are charging for different batteries. All of that goes right back into the ecosystem. All the, again, platform fees on buys and sells. So that is a revenue stream. And Ella mentioned one more thing. It's a revenue stream we really haven't talked about, but you're going to hear me start alluding to it and talking about it more and more. It's something that we have been killing it with our EMP treasury, literally for about, well, I don't even know, 8 months now. And the even some of our VIP members have had this opportunity, and they've been crushing it with us. And we're actually going to open this up to all of you. So we have a very limited public release. Again, more info on this will be coming after the bridge, but this is an incredible way to diversify, and kind of get some as close to guaranteed returns in crypto that you can, and support EMP and our entire ecosystem in the process. So again, it will be it will require some fresh powder. So I'm giving you all kind of a heads up now. But we'll be releasing more info. Right now, the bridge is the number one priority, but I cannot wait to finally talk about this a little more publicly, because it's been unbelievable for our treasury, and it will be a giant revenue stream for Fusion as well. So stay tuned for that. That's your major alpha for today. And again, we're a lot closer to that than we have alluded to. Once the bridge is ready, that's literally the very next thing that we are, going to be promoting. So, all right. And really, again, I want to get on my soapbox for a minute. I was in Discord earlier today. We had a long discussion in Discord. And markets are scary. I mean, with the world economy now, possibly war. There's a lot of things happening, and it's not, again, I think crypto is life changing, but a lot of times you have to go through the bad to get there. And so, what I wanted to say is that this is a natural cycle. I've been here, for 3 cycles now, and every cycle is harder and harder than the last. But the more you go through it, the more, you become, you have the intestinal fortitude to, grin and bear it. And again, I know it sounds kind of jerky, but if you can't stomach the losses, the heartache, and the volatility, you don't deserve the gains. And that's not said to, again, be a jerk. That's said because you really have to look within yourself, and look like deep within your soul, to ask yourself, why am I in crypto? And if the only answer is, to make life-changing gains, and you expect that on a very short time frame, then crypto might not be, for you. And that's okay. I mean, crypto is not for everybody. And the minute that you really, do some soul searching and look about all the amazing things that crypto provides, even outside of monetary gain, it makes your life so much easier dealing with the volatility that comes along with this. And, I get it. We're all here to make money. We're all here to win together, and that is going to be part of the goal always. But I think that it really is healthy, to actually look at the other side effects in a good way that crypto brings. So, LA, I know you get pretty spiritual, so I don't know if you want to add to that. I wanted to get on my soapbox a little bit, but go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I remember when I first started in crypto, and I mean, I'm only 2 years in now, but it literally feels like both 2 seconds and 10 years at the same time.
Totally.
But when this bear market first started, like I was pretty jolted and scared. But now I look at it totally different. I see it as a time of massive opportunity because I've taught myself to believe that if you look at things differently from everyone else, That's how you get ahead in life. When everyone else is scared, if you're saying to yourself, okay, how do I look at this as a time of opportunity? Okay, yeah. I mean, and that's exactly what we're doing with Sparkswap. Like, we launched a project when everyone else was backing away, when, no one else was really doing much. And we set ourselves up as front runners. And now they're all starting to kind of come around, or they had already come and gone when we came around. But, we've perpetually done that. We've set ourselves up as front runners because we've chosen to forge new paths, or paths that are different from what everyone else is doing. And if you do that as an individual and you don't give in to the fear, even though you're feeling it, that's how you get ahead in life. And I see the bear as a major opportunity. In fact, I'm actually really excited for the bull and then another bear to come, because now I know, save a bunch of dry powder, because that next bear, that's a time of massive opportunity. And I didn't necessarily have that this time because I was brand new in my journey, but you bet your ass I will next time. Right? I mean, Sparkswap, Fusion, L1DEX, these are all incredible vehicles for earning. And you bet your ass I'll be putting aside fresh powder as we take these vehicles into the bull market and, take these opportunities for, what we're building them for. We're building these so that everyone can win. So we are going to win, and we're going to do it in a way that's, both smart and fun.
I love it. Absolutely, LA. And we're in the Q&A section, we'll talk a little bit about Detonator and DAAS products. But LA just said something that's really important to remember. And she said that building something where we can all win. And that has been turned into a cliche, I think, in a lot of other protocols. But with us, because we are focusing on real revenue, where we're bringing in outside money again to help APR to pay rewards that has absolutely nothing to do with somebody else buying the token or you selling your token at a higher price than what you bought it for. That is a game changer, and that is what all successful DeFi projects will be moving towards over the next few years. We're first movers, like LA said, and so the days of meme tokens and tokens that don't have real revenue feeding them, that those days are over, I think. And it just takes the natural cycle, again, to go back to that, of people that are in crypto realizing what works and what doesn't. And we're all so early. I know you probably hear that all the time, again, but the fact that we are still trying to build and figure out this incredible decentralized finance world, this has never been done before. Crypto is as bleeding edge as it is. And to tie into actual DeFi or decentralized finance, again, there's less than probably, again, a packed stadium worth of people on the entire planet that even know, what DeFi is. So that is something to just remember. And again, it's about keeping things in perspective. That was another major topic of today. And we are still so early. And even Sparkswap, we've only had Sparkswap alive for 6 weeks. In the real world, that is absolutely no time. And again, I think we get a little bit jaded or time. It's like a time warp being in crypto because we expect everything to happen so fast. And when you look back on it, like Ella said, it feels like both 1 minute and 10 years all at the same time. So just take all of this in. That's why we do the live AMAs, twice a week, and why we're engaged with our community, why we're transparent. It's to help each and every one of you find your own path, to being successful in crypto. Again, we think our protocols are the best way to do that. But at the end of the day, it's up to all of you. You're the ones pushing the buttons, and we can only provide an opportunity. So, all right, I think that really was a lot of what I wanted to get off my chest, and hopefully that helped some of you as well. And one last thing too before we get into Sparkswap, and this applies, LA. I'd love to hear your comment on this, but I think everybody waits for the bottom, and it is very, very difficult to time the bottom. And usually, when we do see a recovery on our tokens, the bottom it's too late, and before you know it, you're buying when and kicking yourself when you could have been buying, you could have been buying a lot closer to a bottom. So don't be that guy or gal. And again, if you're already out of dry powder, I don't ever want anybody getting involved more than they can afford. I mean, that is just healthy for everybody. So please, take everything I'm saying with a grain of salt. Don't ever risk your rent money or, car payment on crypto. If you're already in, then just hold tight, sit back, and be patient. But if you do have the means, it's always best to DCA or dollar cost average. And if you did already, spend everything you had allocated into, either our protocols or any other protocols, remember that for next time. Never go all in. Always, scale into things. Even if you're just doing 10% of your overall bag at every time, over the long run, you have a much better position than, if you're just trying to time the bottom. But LA, anything you want to add to that before we move on to Spark?
Only that I couldn't agree more.
All right, amazing. So there you go. All right, awesome. I think we're moving right along. Covered a lot already. Um, Onto Sparkswap. Again, we have seen a bit of a pullback on Spark. We're testing some all-time lows again, but you have to understand that we are getting impacted from Pulse as well. And I think that uh, again, not to make excuses, just to give everybody the facts. Being having such heavy liquidity with Pulse is a double-edged sword. So what I mean by that is when Pulse goes down, that will bring the price of Spark down with it. And once people start seeing the price of Spark go down, then there is a bit of a cascade effect of panic selling, which is really, not, there really wasn't much selling. It just looked that way because Pulse was down. So again, over the last week, Pulse is down about 7 to 10%. And there was many times where Spark was actually down a lot less than that, and that shows that we actually gained against Pulse. So just again, make sure that you're educated the best that you can be when making decisions on buying and selling. We're not here to sell shame anybody. If you need to sell, that's your prerogative. But just remember, you're leaving all the money on the table, especially in regards to the sparkler. So, pre-bridge launching, we could see literally thousands of dollars entering the ecosystem. And if you can't, hold on to see that happen, or, just put your Spark in Sparkler and then have to be able to earn worry-free about the token price, again, that's your prerogative, but that's not what I would be doing, personally. So I just want to, clarify that, token price will go up, token price will go down. If you have to sell, you have to sell, but use all the tools that we're giving you to set up an amazingly successful long-term plan. Again, we're not going anywhere. We don't build protocols to last, a month. We build protocols to last years. We have the track record with EMP. Again, if we can survive as a tomb fork, over a year and a half with Peg being brutalized and farms are still paying, 20% or 15% APR, that's an accomplishment, and it should be, a testament not only to the development team but also to our community. And again, back to keeping things in perspective, in the real world, you are lucky if you're getting 0.5% APR on any sort of savings account. Even a high yield, like money market, you're lucky if you get 2 or 3% APR. So we're still way ahead of the game, and you can, sleep at night knowing that your money is not going to be rugged or disappear. Like again, we saw two major protocols this week that everybody was throwing money at, literally millions of dollars, completely rugged. And had that economic energy gone into, legitimate projects, we could all help and benefit each other that way. So stop getting into these ridiculous Ponzi, protocols. I know that everybody wants to make money, but 100% of zero is still zero. So don't get into these risky protocols that aren't going to be here tomorrow. So, all right, sorry, I'm on my soapbox again. But LA, anything you want to add to that? I have a few more points before Q&A.
I love fired up AJ.
I know today's been a fiery one, right? For sure.
Let's get him even more jacked up, guys.
Yeah, I'm sure I will when I get to the Q&A. All right, awesome. Again, just everything I already echoed. Even with the little bit of FUD that we are seeing, just remember that, it's a long game. And when we do see dips like this, it's a great way to start DCAing in again. And when we're pumping, that is the time to responsibly take profits if you need to, or just live off the yield. Again, this is not something that we just make up for our own, prerogatives. The richest people in the world live off of yield. Again, Musk, Bezos, all the top dogs, Bill Gates, they have had, businesses, that pay them a residual income, from their holdings. They don't ever sell 100% of their stock, and just get and just leave. So the point is that you want to invest in yield producing assets, and EMP, Spark, eventually L1X, all of those are yield producing assets. And the idea is that you set yourself up to have the yield without ever having to sell your actual asset. So when you finally realize that, you will have gains beyond your wildest dreams, and that's just not me, selling you hopium. That is actually how it works. So again, I feel like I'm preaching today, but yeah, LA, anything you want to add to that? I don't know. I am fired up, I guess.
I can't. I don't feel like I can. It's just too good.
Awesome. All right. Well, there you go. Again, I mean, I think if a lot of you take this to heart, that not only will it be really healthy for the communities as a whole, but at the end of the day, it ends up making you more money as well. Even if you take, the selfish approach, if you use the mechanisms that we have laid out for you, even the selfish approach is what makes you the most long term. So, and again, that's
And that's
using,
the gold right there.
right, totally. Go
That's the
ahead.
gold right there.
Yeah,
Well, I mean, we have never ever said don't take profit. That's the thing. Like we have always created systems and encouraged ways to take profit and take care of yourselves in a way that's both great for you and healthy for the ecosystem. And the goal is to work together so we can all win together. And I'm going to continue saying that because I truly believe that an ecosystem and a society exists where that can happen, where more people are less selfish. But we created an ecosystem where you can be selfish, but still do what's good for everyone and yourself at the same time. So that's the gold right there.
yeah,
And
absolutely.
especially once fusion comes, I mean, that's going to be amplified even more.
Yeah, no, agreed, 100%, LA. Again, that's a really good point I meant to make earlier. So again, imagine Sparkler, when we do see this volatility and the price going down, we are still beholden to others that are taking profit. Well, Fusion is everything that Sparkler is, but without having to worry about somebody dumping on your head and removing that prisoner's dilemma that we see in a lot of DeFi protocols. So again, if you're not bullish on Fusion, you're just not paying attention. So right, LA, I know that's one of your favorite parts about Fusion for sure.
That is my favorite part by far. For literally almost 2 years, we have had some of the most incredible community members in the world focused on educating each other and creating these. Sorry, I pulled my headphones out. Creating these incredible Telegram and Discord groups where we all educate each other. We have this amazing academy. We have all of the tools and resources. We did 365 days of AMAs. We're always there to help, to lead the way. But we still had people coming in and doing the exact opposite, and none of us could do anything about it. But now we're creating an ecosystem where, regardless of other people's actions, it will never ever negatively affect us again. And it's amazing.
Totally.
It's incredible. It makes me smile just thinking about it.
Yes, Ella, you're taking your own advice on smiling today. But yeah, it's 100% true, and that is again the goal of why we have developed something from the ground up, with Fusion, and why, as a community and as a team, we're so excited for what that will be. Again, we just got to get there. I know all of you are anxious. We will have it out. We just have to do it right, and unfortunately. We don't take shortcuts, and because we don't take shortcuts, that is, part of why the timeline is extended. But it will be here, and it will be spectacular. So, all right, a few last points, and then we'll get into Q&A. Again, just to give a little more input on Sparkler, even now with the dip that we've seen, Sparkler is still averaging, about 0.8% a day. And that's without all the additional revenue streams. That is only from the in and out fees of the pools and farms and some swap fees. That is it. I mean, can you imagine the amount of rewards once we have the bridge running, we have the arbitrage bots up and running. I mean, just again, it's going to be amazing, and that might take a while. I don't want people to say, if the bridge launches, tomorrow and we don't see APR going up. I don't want that to be FUD. Sometimes it's a lagging indicator, meaning it takes a few weeks for that volume to build, and those again that revenue to start really kicking in. But I can say that over the next few weeks to months, those revenue streams will only build for sure. So all right, and then one more thing. There's about 1,500 Spark that we have burned already. Again, made an announcement in Telegram. We're doing a combination of manual and automatic burn. So probably Friday or Saturday of every week, we'll take all the Spark that we earned from the split on battle bets. As well as some of the team allocation or yield that we're able to earn and burn that Spark. So again, there's a small dev fee from Sparkler directly, but we're probably just gonna end up burning that. Again, if we can, the idea is that we're able to build a protocol that is not a mechanism for developers to get rich. As long as we have enough money to cover server costs and, marketing and, the day-to-day things, that is all that we need to survive. And literally everything else is given back to all of you in terms of yield. So that is, that is the ethos that we have here with all of our protocols. So, all right, awesome. I think that's it then, LA. That was all of the updates. I know we're gonna get into Q&A. While LA looks at that up, I can start if you're still busy, LA, let me know. I'll start. But I'll start with one that I know everybody else is going to ask. When bridge? So again, we're not in a position to give a date, but I can say that this week should be a very good week for all of us. So I get in trouble every time I even remotely allude to a time frame. But we are super duper uber close. So and again, remember, we're bulletproof testing everything that we're doing with the bridge. We have a lot of moving parts. Not only do we have a bulletproof bridge, but we have, an arbitrage bot that will keep parity with EMP on both chains. That's also a revenue stream for Sparkler. So there's just a lot of things. And really, again, when you put things in perspective, we've only been live for 6 weeks. So, I know that feels like a long time, but it really isn't. So, just a little more patience, and everybody will be very happy. So, all right, that was my first Q&A. LA, are you ready? Sorry, I know I was
Yes, I
okay.
am. Yep. Yeah, so here's one just because you just talked about this, but what's the purpose of burning Spark?
Yeah, absolutely. So sorry about that. There's twofold with Spark. So burning Spark. So just burning. When you just burn a token, it's healthy to curb inflation, meaning you're reducing the supply of that token. But the real power is buying and burning. So when you actually buy the token off the market, and then burn it, that is really powerful. And again, through battle bets, that's what's happening. People are buying Spark off the market. Some may be using the Spark that they earn in the farms, but that's okay too. Um, but the maximum economic power is people that buy Spark to play battle bets. And then again, part of that Spark is burned. And so this mechanism will be something that we implement as well. We have, again, some partner protocols as well as third-party developers that are building more and more with Spark in mind. And after the bridge, all of that will be coming to life. Um, and again, we could see, thousands of Spark being burned a day. And when that happens, again, it's reducing the supply, which means there's more demand for a smaller amount of tokens. Um, so yeah, hopefully that explains why burning is important. Again, buying and burning is even more important.
Awesome. Could you please confirm the total supply of eShare, and can that supply change up and down in any way? Up or down, sorry.
Yeah, so the ESHARE still is deflationary. So I believe, again, forgive me, I have a lot going on that I should know this off the top of my head, but I believe it's 60 ESHARE that's emitted every day. Um, so that is, that is ever increasing the supply. You can look on chain. I believe it's about 55,000 total eShare in circulation right now. So again, even at 60 eShare a day, a year from now, you're not really the token supply is not inflating by much at all. And remember, I mentioned it a little bit earlier that eShare is based on the halvening model, just like Bitcoin. So every subsequent year from here on out, that number is cut in half. So again, even after 10 years, you're looking at a very low supply uh, token. And, typically, with the lower the supply of a token, the higher dollar value per token that you get. Now, again, that's kind of misleading because you can only sell fractions of a token. That's why, with Bitcoin and you have Satoshis is the smaller unit of measurement. Um, but the bottom line is, over time, both EMP, it's already happening, becoming deflationary. But eShare will also be deflationary as well. And again, back to the whole buy and burn argument, part of our our fees will go to buy and burn ESHARE. And so over time, again, that pushes the price up as well. So does that help, LA? I don't know if you want to add to any of that, but yeah.
Oh my God, you just made me realize like that wasn't even something we touched on while we were talking about fusion. The
For
fact
sure.
that, you know, we're not even going to be minting more and just how valuable it's going to get.
Yeah, 100%.
Awesome. So here's another one. Please provide a simple explanation of the transition of funds from Detonator to Fusion. And is there anything that we need to do for the transition?
Yes, so all right, awesome. I'm glad this was asked. I was going to ask it at the end because we had a long discussion about DAAS contracts on Discord. And again, I'm going to go down a little bit of a tributary and then I'll get back to this original question. But I think that there are still people that are really upset, you know, about DAAS products. Obviously, we did everything we could to explain that these were ROI contracts or gamified ROI contracts. The fact that there is a daily giveaway or lottery, again, we don't like to call it that, but daily giveaway, that should be proof that this was a gamified contract and that these were games. And inside of games, unfortunately, the reality is there is a winner and there is a loser. And we can only do so much when we design these sort of contracts. And for a very long time, DOS contracts were the absolute talk of DeFi. And for months, people were profiting massively. And again, feeding their positions in the farms. And that is always what we said was to responsibly take profit from DOS products and put them into the farms. And so, we do everything we can to educate, but at the end of the day, it's up to you to play the game, so to speak. And, we learned a lot from DOS products. We, definitely want to build something that is a little bit more sustainable. That will be part of Detonator version 3. After Fusion is live, we'll have some changes to that will tax you progressively more and more if you claim more than 2 days a week, which has always been what we have said. Claiming once or twice a week is what everybody should be doing. Um, and again, I think the FUD around DOS products has been absolutely multiplied by an order of magnitude just because the overall crypto market has gone down as well. Had we continued to have stable ETH prices and interest in crypto, where not everybody has left crypto, I think that DOS is and still could be extremely successful because all the mechanisms to encourage people to participate, that's still all there. The only reason that there is this, downward spiral is because everybody is claiming, out of it. And so we have to do things that change the behavior for everybody to end up again winning again. So that was again a bit of a background, but to the question specifically, what we're doing is we're eliminating the ability to just claim from DOS products and then dump it on the market. So by doing that, we essentially stop the bleeding. You're still able to claim what you're owed, or even, again, you're more than welcome to put more into these DOS contracts and use it as a vehicle to earn even more. But that all that you earn is applied to your microgrid. So again, rather than dumping it on the market, you're essentially getting more value in your microgrid, and then you can use batteries to withdraw your your earnings from the microgrid. So again, you're still able to realize all the gains that you're entitled to, but it's in a much healthier way, and it's routed through Fusion. And what this will do is reduce the bleeding that we've seen, and then with our other changes for V3, that will make it even more sustainable. And again, I don't want to. Everybody wants to, clip my voice or say that I said something I didn't, but I am more than confident that all the DAAS products will have a incredible resurgence in popularity after Fusion, for sure. So, all right, Ella, anything you want to add to that? Sorry, I know it was a long-winded, but yeah.
It needed to be said.
Yeah.
But yes, and if you need any further information on that, it is contained in the white paper.
Yeah, 100%. Again, please do me a favor and just read the white paper. I know that is something that people don't want to do or don't have time to, but that will answer, 99% of your questions.
There was something here that I wanted to read. I thought it might make your day, AJ.
All right, I love it. Here we go. In a good way or bad way, I'm already fired up, LA. All right, here we go.
AJ might be an AI alien, something out of this world. That's what I'm thinking, listening to AJ over the last year or so. His intelligence is remarkable.
Oh, right on. Well, again, I really appreciate that. I don't think I'm an AI. I don't think I am an
Mhm.
alien, at least the last time I checked. But, I do consider myself an expert in crypto. And, I just want to do everything I can to share my insight, with all of you. And yeah, I mean, that really means a lot. Thank you for whoever wrote that. I appreciate it.
Thought that made you smile.
Yes, that's the theme today. I should have put that in the title. Smile, smile more. Yeah, isn't that this is a famous YouTuber? He says that, I think. Yeah, but
So we have one more question from me, and that's are there any release updates for the videos for Fusion? Good question.
yeah, there you go.
She's
That's you, LA.
actually
Go ahead. Yeah.
she's actually working on the final one finally. So I did have to give her a little bit more for the voiceover for that one, and um, I have an incredibly stuffy nose right now. So as soon as I sound normal, I'm gonna record that and send it off to her. But she is working on it while she waits for that part. But she's working on the final one, so that's pretty exciting.
Awesome. There you go. Some more alpha for those that stayed around to the end. I know LA has showed me about half of them, and I know she's trying to keep some of them as a secret to even surprise me. But from what I've seen, they're killer. Again, the whole goal with this video series is to make Fusion even more simplified and how we're moving and transitioning into that. Um, and again, we will be doing ongoing videos as well after Fusion is live. But I think this is really a great all-encompassing, intro to Fusion. Should be the name of the whole series. But yeah, we're there. Yeah,
Yeah.
totally. Yeah.
Yeah, and then as soon as Fusion launches, I'm going to do a whole second set myself, which will be a lot quicker to do because I won't be waiting for someone to do it for me. But I'm going to do a whole second set with the actual UI of just speaking and explaining how to do everything, like, and how to deposit, how to do this, how to do that, how to what this battery does, what that battery does, how to power cycle, how to all the things. So there will be like a functional series, but this is just a general kind of overview, very simplified, pretty fun, dynamic, animated. So it's coming.
Perfect. Awesome. Well, and I have one more too, little gem of knowledge thanks to our very special Emperor Vino Mystic. So shout out to Vino. We love you, brother. Oh, and shout out to Cool Sheet as well. I think everybody's loving the new intro. I want to hear a DeFi proof Cool Sheet collab. I think that is in the works for Fusion. Let's hope so. But anyway, Vino had shared some really bullish statistics we put him on the spot a little bit on the last AMA, but in true Vino fashion, he followed up with exactly what we were getting at. So I'm going to read a few statistics here that are extremely bullish. And again, we can take a few more questions or wrap it up. But these were in regards to the circulating supply, the fully diluted value, and the market cap of Spark. So right now the liquidity is about 1.8 million. Even when we've seen Spark and Pulse go down in price, we've still been right around this $2 million range, which is so bullish. And the FDV are fully diluted value. So just to give you an idea, market cap is based off of the current total circulating supply. So that would put the fully diluted value at 1.97 million. So again, just right there neck and neck with our liquidity. However, the fully diluted market cap really is a bit misleading because we have again about 40% of all Spark locked up inside the sparkler. So if you take the current total circulating supply, which is about 3.1 million Spark, that's not locked up in Sparkler. And then the actual market cap based off the real circulating Spark that is not in Sparkler, you're looking at more like 1.2 million in actual market cap, fully diluted market cap. So the liquidity is actually almost $600,000 above the true circulating supply actual market cap. So again, it's bullish on the surface, but when you really do the numbers, it's even more bullish. So that means 1.7 million Spark is staked in the Sparkler, and makes up at any given time between 35 and 40% of the total supply. So all those metrics are super bullish, especially for the long term. And we have to run a specific API to actually determine how long people are staked in Sparkler. But I can tell you, just based on some other calls that we've done on that contract, it's becoming where the vast majority are now part of the 3650 gang. So that's even more bullish, where when you think that 1.7 million Spark is staked, and the vast majority of that is staked forever, or 10 years at least. I mean, that couldn't be more exciting. So, all right, that is all I have, LA. Any more Q&A or any other things that you want to add? Go ahead.
There was one more question. So, what about going back to V1 of Detonator, where the lottery prize was 1% of the pool size?
Yeah, so we had made some V2 changes that redistributed the lottery, and it really ended up making it more sustainable than the 1%. But I mean, that is something that we can look at. I get it, like a 1%, especially if as the balance grows, that 1% is a lot more attractive. But again, I mean, then there's not multiple winners either. So it's a double-edged sword. I think that I think that people look for something to say, oh well, you changed this and that's what caused the problem. Unfortunately, I think it's a little more complicated than that. We did a V2 upgrade, right around the time that the market was bleeding out again. So I don't know if there's a way to say, this is the solution or this was the problem. But yeah, I mean, we can definitely look into some other options. I think overall, what to take home is, actually taxing people for claiming more than twice a week. That is going to do wonders for the pool balance. So again, anybody claiming more than twice a week, the third time is a modest percentage tax. The fourth time is even higher. the fit time is even higher than that. And again, I mean, if you're claiming every single day, you're getting taxed, massively. And all of those taxes, rather than, leaving or going to the treasury or whatever, they go right back into the pool balance. So this change alone, with DAAS v3, that will help it become way more sustainable and actually benefit those that are, participating in a healthy manner. It benefits all of you the most. So, no more, just draining of the contract. All right. So yeah, hopefully that helps. And yeah, good question. So we'll look into that as it gets closer.
Awesome. Well, I think that's it for tonight.
All right. Awesome. All right. Oh, that's funny. LMFG, you're hilarious. So, all right. All right, everybody. Well, yeah, I appreciate y'all being here, LA. I want to give you the final words again. I think you kicked it off really well. Smiling is important. What do they say? It takes more. It takes more energy to frown than smile, right? Or something like that. I don't know. Yeah. So yeah.
My grandpa was one of my favorite people in the world, and he used to always say, "A pleasant smile makes a pleasant day."
I love it.
Simple but true. I just want to say thank you guys, for continuing to challenge us. We don't always love it in the moment, but it continues to push us to, show up in that next level.
For sure.
We do love and appreciate all of you, and I'm gonna end my part this way because I know you'll all love it. Let's fucking go.
I love it. We gotta let's fucking go. You know it's a good AMA when LA ends with a let's fucking go. But yeah, no doubt LA, I couldn't agree more, on all that we talked about today. And again, I know a lot of times we come on these AMAs and get a little saucy, or fired up, as you put it today. But just know that, we do appreciate the constructive criticism. We're not here to have just rainbows and butterflies all the time. We can still be positive and support each other. But again, I mean, we're here to build amazing things, and the more feedback we get, the better. So, yeah, 100%. All right, awesome.
Amazing.
Yeah. All right. That being said, LA, anything else?
Have a good day or night wherever you are.
All right, there you go, everybody. Good night, good day. We will see you on Thursday. Again, we come to you every Monday and Thursday at 6:45 p.m. Eastern. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Smash the like button before you leave if you have not already, and share this AMA, with some people that may be interested in getting involved in protocols at the bottom, that you can actually trust and don't have to worry about a rug pull, like we've seen in literally every corner of DeFi, it seems. So, all right, awesome. Yeah, good.
One last thing, and keep them peepers a peeping.
I love it. All right, all right, everybody. We'll see you soon. Bye bye.